Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site. Links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Wilkinson featuring Matt Wills, and that's We Will Be. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now, Wilkinson has been in bad form over the last year or so, in my eyes, since he's coming off a really hot breakout year in 2015, where he released a ton of songs I really enjoyed, and then he just stepped away from everything that made him famous and unique as a DJ, which is kind of a strange artistic decision. His drum and bass elements, which were pretty much what made him famous and what he did so well, were now either completely missing from his tracks, or they were shoehorned into sections without any development or any need for them, so it just sounded, ill-placed and forced. Yeah, not a big fan of that. So shall we see what I thought of this brand new track and this collaboration? Well, I thought this was a big improvement for me, and I think it is only helped further by a really clever collaboration. I can't say I know too much at all about Matt Wills, his material, his discography, whatever you want to call it, but he has an oddly genuine voice that is both mature as well as appealing to a younger demographic. He's almost got this slightly Shawn Mendes-y type tone paired with, I can't even remember the singer, it's lost my head, the singer out of Bastille, his sort of tone, the almost goatee type tone. But I think, you look at people like Sam Smith that started off on collaborations with Disclosure and those people. This guy could be following in those footsteps. Even John Newman did the same with Rudimental, so I'm excited to see what the singer does next. Even though the drum and bass elements are a little shoehorned into this track and weren't entirely necessary and the drop was a little bit forced, I did actually think they were quite illustrious, especially for a Wilkinson track, and much more powerful than last few outings as well, making it a really fun track and one that would stick really well in a party. It has that signature British twang to it, and I think British electronic music has had that missing for the last year or two, so it's nicer to hear the bigger DJs like Wilkinson are actually beginning to bring this back. When it comes to the production of this track, I think each area of the stereo field is covered adequately, and I think the drop is also very well handled. The layers have specific, almost siren-like tones, which I found fun, I found very different. It's something I've been looking for a little while now, especially in pop music, and it created a really exciting and different atmosphere because of it. I think Matt sounds largely organic throughout this track, and there is the odd misstep with the auto-tune which made his voice waver in slightly electronic ways, which I'm not a big fan of, but it barely blemished what was a very good vocal performance. When it comes to the drop, the bass is frenetic and thick, the mid-ground is a little bit too empty for me, and the high ground is just full of great fun. And it's just a bit of a mixed bag really, I guess, of production, but there is definitely more positives than negatives, and it's just tiny little minor errors which the majority of people wouldn't even care about, but I've got to find something. When it comes to the musicality of this track, let's just face it, it's a very basic drum and bass track, your usual drum and bass track. The melodies are functional, everything is predictable, and it's pretty one-dimensional, but I will say I had fun with what was really on offer throughout this track, and it's definitely more unique than your average party track, perhaps not your average drum and bass track, but it definitely, from a pop point of view, it sticks out much more than what the other chart artists are really offering at the moment. Wilkinson does need to continue his form though with more drum and bass orientated tracks, as I feel his biggest mistake over the last year or so has been letting the pop aspect overtake and just be too much on his records, which is opposite to what he did when he started out with tracks like Afterglow. I just feel that he's much more unique and more set in stone and sounds a bit more, I don't know, individualized when he really capitalizes on his natural drum and bass influence. I think the tracks he's tried to put too much pop commercialism in have made for very boring listens, and I think this track was benefited from him going back to basics. Having said that, I think the feature is strong and the vocal performance is gratifying and catchy, but having said that, the hook could have done with some more improvement for me, because I think the hook is a little bit stale. Lyrically, the track is fine and it's more of your empowering generic swash, but it's not irritating or annoying or anything like that. So all in all, the track is better than your average party tune. I've said it a couple times now. By a collection of artists, I'm hoping we'll basically go on to better things throughout this year, and I'm really excited to hear more from Matt Wills. He's a very promising artist in my opinion. So I gave it a G rating of 6 out of 10, which is above average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.